So many people here have said that to me, not just Germans, but from all over, that they think Americans are fake nice. And at the beginning, I really hated hearing that.
Me too.
I really hated it.
I was offended like every time.
After several years, I go back at least once a year. Hopefully, I try to go back a few times a year. I kind of see where they're coming from. I see it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pod Abroad. My name is Paulina de los Santos. Just for some backstory, I am an American who has lived in Munich, Germany, almost 9 years. Crazy. And on my podcast, I'm having some friends over. We're having some conversations. And today I have my good friend Jordan. Woo woo. Woo. What can I say about Jordan? How did we meet? We met at work at my first full-time job here in Germany, and that was in the depths of 2020, right?
I think so, yeah.
Someone in my department told me that there was another American. I was like, oh my gosh, show me. And
you could probably hear me, you didn't have to look too hard.
No, but I think that's exactly what happened. That we were in the kitchen, and I indeed heard you. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you the American that someone told me about? And yeah, the rest is history. Last year we went abroad. We live abroad. We went abroad.
Very abroad life.
Yes. Yeah. We went to South Africa and Namibia with his partner, Max. That was epic. And yeah, that's just a little bit about Jordan, but you can hear now more about himself through an intro. What would you say? Yeah, like give me all the basics. Where are you from? Mm-hmm. How did you end up in Germany? Like in a nutshell, what's your experience with like life abroad? Because you've lived many places, not just here.
Yes, yeah, I have. But I've been in Germany since 2015. So just I guess 1 year before you moved here. But I'm from Georgia originally. Yes. I grew up in South Georgia. And after I graduated college, I moved to China for a year. I sort of had this like itch that I wanted to be abroad, to experience the world. Which sounds kind of cliche, but
you did it.
That's what I did.
You went for
that's
it.
what I wanted to do. So I moved to China for a year, and then afterwards I moved to Texas. So I'm legally Texan.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. And then after that, I moved to Panama for a year. And then I moved to Frankfurt. So I was in Frankfurt for a while. Then I was in Ireland for a bit, and back and forth between Frankfurt and Dublin. And then I've been in Munich for 5.5 years now.
The free state of Bavaria.
Crazy. Yes, the free state of Bavaria. Yeah.
You came home.
I did.
I love
the
that.
Texas of Germany.
Yeah. I want to start off with a little icebreaker and ask you, I mean, you've been here many years now in Germany. What's the one thing that you, just off the top of your head, that you miss most about life in Georgia, particularly? And then maybe one thing that like you're happy that you can live without.
It's a good question. And it's kind of a hard one to answer. I mean, so like the first thing that comes to mind is that I really miss Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A. I miss food, right?
Zaxby's?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's kind of like...
I don't know.
It's like Cane's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no Cane's.
It's actually almost exactly like Cane's,
so
but
like a
better.
chicken tender place.
It's the chicken tender place. Yeah. Super
they have
good.
Special sauce?
They do. And it's just like cane sauce, but obviously better.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, no, I do miss the food a lot, actually. I miss people. That's, I guess, the big one. I guess that's what everyone says, right? Like, I miss my family and friends, which is true. I do. And you never really sort of grow out of that. Yeah. One thing that I could say I don't miss is, and I notice this every time I go back to the States or to Georgia, I don't miss how commercialized life is there. So I was just back over Christmas and New Year's, and this is kind of a silly example, but I just noticed how many advertisements there are everywhere, how many billboards there are everywhere. There's always like a fight for your attention. And Germany, it's not so much like that.
True.
And I like that.
And we have our strip malls, like just like off the highway.
Yeah.
And so many billboards.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. True.
The billboards in Texas are unhinged.
In Georgia as well. It's like it's wild.
the South, like
Mm-hmm.
unhinged. Because like I also went back recently, a few months ago, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like has it always been like this? I think it has.
I think it has, but I'm not really sure. I feel like they're more unhinged. They're more like, I don't know, extreme now.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of like very political and like very
Oh yeah,
pointed billboards everywhere.
yeah.
Like so and so's ruining the nation, or, you know, I mean, I do remember actually several years ago seeing these like birther billboards. Did you remember seeing those?
Mm-mm.
Which was like, check the birth certificate. That's basically all the billboards would say. It
Oh,
was about Barack Obama.
oh my!
Not being
Stop.
seriously. I
Stop
remember
it.
it
People like
vividly.
put their money towards
You know who would
that.
put their money towards it? Donald Trump.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, he was a
Oh.
birther. Did you not know that?
How did I not know
No,
this?
no.
A birther. Like I don't even know this like noun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, there were all these people that thought that Obama wasn't a real, like,
American.
well, he wasn't born in the U.S., so he wasn't qualified to be president. Anyway, this is getting political.
Crazy. We'll save it for the other segment.
Yeah, let's save it.
I love that. Okay, second icebreaker. Well, just to let everybody know, Jordan has a fiancé and is a fiancé. Woo-woo.
Yes.
We're gonna talk a little bit about cultural differences, like just being in a relationship with someone who isn't from where you're from. But I wanted to kick off and ask you also, is there something that Max does that like surprised you or is different, like when you first got together?
Oh, something that surprised me or is different.
You're like, there's so many things.
There's
How do
so
I
many.
pinpoint one?
I don't know. I mean, yes, of course. But I think a lot of that is less to do with him being German and more like getting to know somebody
Yeah.
and figuring out,
That's fair.
you know, who they are as a person. I think that I have taken on some of the things that he likes. Like, for example, Germans are really big on like these big Sunday breakfasts.
Yeah.
And also on like going on a walk afterwards. I never ever did that before Max, and we
Same.
basically do it now every
I love
week.
that.
Yeah.
Verdauungsspaziergang.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
means digestion walk.
Yeah, it's very romantic.
I love that. That's a great thing to adopt.
I think so. I think so too. It's something you can't really do in the US. I mean, if you live in a city, for sure. Well, maybe, but anyway, it's not as ingrained in society as it is here. Like you go out on the streets on Sunday and everyone's taking a little walk with their family. So nice.
What does Sunday brunch at home look like for y'all?
Oh, well, this was also something that we had to sort of
Meet
agree
in the
on
middle,
over time.
right?
Because when we first started dating, we would have Sunday brunch or breakfast. But the breakfast culture is very different in the US, specifically in the South, than it is in Germany. But I've kind of adapted, I have to say. So we have like bread rolls, we have like cold cuts and salami and
That's very
cheeses.
German.
It's super German. But every now and then, probably like once a month, once every 2 months, we do have like bacon and eggs, and sometimes I make biscuits.
I love that.
Yeah.
I miss biscuits.
Me too.
Do you get them like from a can?
No, I make them from scratch.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And they're flaky, like buttery.
I mean, they're buttery.
They are.
They're not super flaky, but they do taste like biscuits.
Do they give you like the film on the top of your mouth?
No.
Okay, then maybe not enough butter. I think Paula Deen would be disappointed.
I think she would too.
Come
I think she
on.
would,
Like
but-
Georgia would be
Yeah,
disappointed.
I know. But anyway, they're good. I think they taste good. Max says they taste good, so
That's what matters.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Okay, moving into the world of just your relationship and being a gay man here in Germany. What would you say? Have there been like any particular differences that you've experienced in the different places that you've lived, like versus life growing up in the US?
It's also a really good question. Yes. I feel like I should say more than that, but yes. I feel like every country is a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me start with Germany. So I think Germany tends, in my experience, to be a lot more. It's more like that being gay is less of a topic here. That's what I've experienced, right? So it's, I mean, it's part of who you are, but it's not like people don't put you in a box as much as they do, like, let's say in the US.
Yeah.
And I've never really experienced so much, at least in the workplace and on a personal level, so much sort of like discrimination. Whereas in the US, I would sometimes feel really uncomfortable talking about it or being open with people. Yeah, I think that every country, like I said, is a little different. I mean, for example, when I lived in Ireland, I felt like it was a lot more open as well. Even though I know it's a complicated situation there as well. But I don't know. Every country is a little bit different, and sort of acceptance of the LGBTQ community is at different levels in different societies. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, totally. What's the scene like here in Munich, particularly? Since you've been here, I guess the longest now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, when I say the scene, I'm like, are you out in the clubs?
Do you mean the gay
You don't
scene?
you don't go to the clubs though.
I don't go to the
You
clubs.
don't
I was
hit the
just thinking that, like, what is the scene
What's
like
the
in
scene?
Munich? I think it's kind of
Even your scene,
It's kind
if
of a
not the-
small community here. I mean, relative to what I experienced in the US, so like in Atlanta and Dallas. It's a small community, and in Frankfurt it was much smaller. I mean, there are like gay bars here and clubs, but it's not so much of sort of like this insular neighborhood community vibe like it was in like a bigger city in the US. But I mean, it does exist here. I mean, it's certainly bigger than Frankfurt. Yeah. It's nice, but I have to say, I mean, like you said, I don't really go out clubbing that much. I have to say, I'm like, we moved here in 2019, and so we started like really going out to bars, and then the pandemic basically hit. So,
And when it was over, it was like, oh well, I'm done with that
I'm
phase.
old now. I'm old.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I kind of felt like that. Basically, whenever everything started opening back up, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Not really, though. I mean, I still go out sometimes, but not. Yeah.
But not like raging.
Yeah,
Was there ever like a point in your life where you were like going out?
No.
Okay.
No. But I mean, when I was younger, in my 20s.
We're still young.
I know. I'm young in here. In my 20s, I would go out more, for sure. Yeah, which is different. I mean, I loved living in Dallas, I have to say. And that was such a cool vibe. A lot of really cool places to go out there as a gay man. And I had a great time there.
The people were nice.
The people were super nice. And it was, I mean, I remember my favorite gay bar there was actually like Western themed.
Ooh,
so
give it a shout
like,
out. What was it called?
No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do branding deals.
Okay, but Western.
No, it was Western, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which was cool. There was like gay line dancing.
Oh, I love that.
It was really wild.
Things like you would just like never see here in Munich.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think that, I mean, the vibe's a little different here in general. I don't think that's really a gay thing. It's more like a German culture thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to go out and meet people here, I find, because people typically, they already go out with their friends. They already know people. It's a little more difficult to just sort of like, I mean, you can do it, right? You can go up and talk to strangers, but it's not as normal as it is in the US to just say, okay, or in Ireland, for example, to go out and just start talking to people. So
that's crazy because I mean, like, it doesn't matter then, like what your sexuality is. That's just like the vibe of Munich.
Yeah.
It's just like hard approaching strangers, right?
Yeah, totally. And it was the same in Frankfurt. I mean, I can't talk about all of Germany. I think Berlin is probably a little different, especially in the gay scene, for example, because it's so much bigger there. But yeah, it's it tends to be a culture where people they don't go out to, let's say, make friends. They go out to hang out with their friends.
No, I'd agree. I used to like honestly say like, oh, Germany's like that, until I went to like Cologne and Bonn. And I was like, oh my gosh, Germany's not like that. Yeah. It's just like Munich. Like Munich's like that.
Munich is a little more reserved, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has its good and bad things about it. I would say the good outweighs the bad at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally.
Not to like take away from the hard parts, but yeah. At the beginning, you made a comment saying you just feel like being gay is not like it's not so much of a label here. Like you haven't felt that it's something that you have to like, I don't know, have a special label for and necessarily feel different about. I think that's so beautiful. And I just wanted to say that like it reminds me of how when I first moved to Germany, I told one of my German friends that I had just met, like, oh yeah, I'm a first generation college student. And they're like, yeah, what does that mean? And I was like, oh yeah, like my parents didn't go to university. And they said like, oh yeah, mine neither. And it made me think like, oh, in the US, we have all of these kind of labels that we want to give. And I think honestly, to each their own. Like, I think that works for German society because like they're pretty humble and I guess like, I don't know, like it's not important to them. At the same time, like I think it's cool in the US, you're able to have like communities and find these similarities because like there's solidarity in that too. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's a really good point, right? And you know what I immediately thought about is sort of this whole debate over DEI at the moment, and
Yeah.
like all of the DEI programs, especially in the US, are going away, and people think, and it's sort of like the narrative in society, certainly the conservative narrative, is that people don't want to be put in boxes. Which I understand, but there is such a big benefit of finding community,
Yeah.
like you said, and of course, I don't think anybody really wants to be labeled and treated as a label. But for example, DEI programs or like communities in organizations or in cities, they really help people to find a support system where they might
Absolutely.
not have one. So yeah, I think that is something that to some degree is kind of missing here.
Yeah.
Because but I think because people they already have networks, right? Especially Germans, they grow up with their networks. I don't know if you've experienced this, but they already have a lot of friends from childhood, and they're
Oh yeah.
super loyal. They keep their friends their entire life. I think that's beautiful. But if you're not sort of in one of those networks, it's hard. It's hard to find your peeps. It's hard to find your community sometimes.
Absolutely. No, I agree. That's just the overall vibe of Munich. And I have like validation from a Münchner Kindle because I once lived with someone born and raised here.
Okay.
Shout out to Paloma. And she told me because I said like, oh, this is the vibe that I've gotten from you people. And she was like, oh yeah, no, it's true. And I was just like, really? She was like, yeah, like totally. Like,
Yeah.
like how you feel, like that's the reality. She said, like, oftentimes, like, we have our friends, we keep our friends, and like we don't need any more.
No
And
new
that's like such
friends.
a different,
No
no new
friends.
friends.
Yeah.
And like in the US, I feel like we're just like, I don't know, open people. This is such a blanket statement.
It's super blanket, but I mean,
but,
that's
like,
also my experience, I have to say.
Or I guess like Texas, like living in the South, like
People
Georgia,
are very open.
we're
I mean,
just
and it's not
open.
like you're creating friendships that last forever. That's
No.
I used to call them like throwaway friends in the US.
oh.
That's really
Oh my
mean. It's not meant mean, but it's
gosh.
like it's friends for, let's say, for a season, right? So you have
So I'm not a throwaway.
no, you're not a
friend.
throwaway friend. Definitely
It's
not.
been more than
Definitely
a
not.
season.
It's been many seasons.
Yeah.
But you have some people that come into your life and you're friends with
Yeah.
them for a couple months, and
Yeah.
then you grow apart, and that I find that to be normal, right?
Yeah.
And also kind of healthy, right? Different people bring in different perspectives, different influences, and sometimes you grow apart from them, which is super sad. But also that's kind of life,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, I think that Germans sort of that also a blanket statement. A lot of people that grow up in Germany perceive that in a different way, which again is beautiful, right? I mean, there are people that I became friends with in Germany when I moved here a decade ago. God, that sounds like a long time. That I'm still super close with, and they're super loyal to me. I'm super loyal to them. We are friends, very close friends, and we will be forever. And I truly believe that because they really invest in people and they maintain their friendships over time.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I think that's great too.
But it's
different.
It has another side to it, right? Because then it's hard to sort of break in and create those friendships. You really have to invest in people.
I've been told many times, actually by Germans over the years, saying that they think that Americans are fake friendly. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What's like your experience? Do you think that the people like in the US that you've come across in passing, like do you think they've been fake friendly to you?
Not most of the time. Not most of the time. So I'll give an example, right? So I was at home for Christmas and New Year's. We celebrated New Year's in Atlanta. Super nice time when we hung out with one of my closest friends there, his friends, and had a great night with these people. Talked to them, opened up to them. We laughed. We cried, it was beautiful. We cheers.
I love that.
We didn't cry. And, but we had a really nice time. They were super nice to me. At the end of the night, I felt super close to them. Are we friends now? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
But you shared those moments.
We shared those moments, and it was lovely. And
it is what it is.
It is what it is, right? And I think that it's really nice that Americans do that very often. They're so like open and welcoming and friendly to people. You don't have to be friendly with sort of an end goal in mind. You know what I mean? So is it fake? No, I don't think so. I think people just want to be friendly and like make connections. But is it meant to be from the get-go like an investment and a forever friendship? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's complicated. It's complicated. And to add on to that, so I think that your perspective sort of changes over time the longer you're away from the US. So I really hated so many people here have said that to me, not just Germans, but from all over, that they think Americans are fake nice. And at the beginning, I really hated hearing that.
Me too.
I really hated it.
I was offended like every time.
After several years, I go back at least once a year. Hopefully, I try to go back a few times a year. I kind of see where they're coming from. I see it.
It's because you're German now.
Yeah.
It's like the reverse culture shock.
Kind
that you're
of.
like, oh, like, why are you being nice to me?
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I think it's really nice when Americans are like, when you're in a situation where you are trying to meet people, or like for us at New Year's, like it was totally great that that these people were so friendly to me. I had a great night. That I think is great and really nice about Americans. What I now have started to find weird is when people like approach me like at the gas station and want to talk to me, and
What?
I'm like,
That's odd.
that's weird, right? Or like if you're waiting in line, in the grocery store in Germany, people don't talk to you.
No, not at all.
They might look at you, you might exchange like a glance, they won't say anything. In Georgia, people are just ready to hear
How's
about
your
your
day
entire
going?
life. And it's like, Tammy, I don't want you to know how my day is going,
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know, man. Like, every time I've heard this, like, I mean, my first thought is just like, oh, well, Germans think that Americans are fake friendly because, like, they're not used to strangers being kind.
Yeah.
Like, you're just not used to a stranger being nice to you, which is sad. So, like, if a stranger's ever, like, nice to you, like, they're immediately thinking, like, what do you want? Like, you must want something. And it's like, no, like, it's actually not that deep.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like, it's just like not that deep in the US. Like,
Sometimes
sometimes
like common courtesy, right?
yeah, like, I don't know. It's in our culture of, because I've heard a German say like, oh yeah, like they ask you like, how's your day? And like, they don't actually care. And I'm like, I mean, like, but do they actually like, what do you want them to like spiritually, like really like be invested into how you are? Like, it's not that deep. Like, we're just asking like, how's your day?
I still remember after I moved here, I was living in Frankfurt, and I had to break myself of asking people like, how are you, as a greeting, because
Germany broke you.
It broke me. It broke me. No, but I had to break myself of it because it made people feel so awkward.
Yeah.
Because they really felt like they needed to answer. And I will never forget standing, passing somebody basically outside of my workplace and being like, hey, how are you? The guy stopped, looked at me so weird, and he was like, I'm doing okay. How are you? Like, very seriously answering me, like, we say it as a greeting, but like he was like seriously invested in me asking him that and giving me a honest, well thought out answer. Super weird. I mean, it was fine. I shouldn't say it was weird, but it was what it was. I felt weird about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
You're like, sorry. Like, I'm like just gonna go.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do miss this. Maybe that's good for what I miss from Georgia. And I really noticed that this time when I was in the States is how polite people are to each other, just like for no reason.
Yeah.
In the grocery store. And the first couple of days, I found it super annoying. That's the German in me.
Yeah, like reverse culture shock. It's
People-
like it's uncomfortable at first, and then you ease it. And
Yeah,
you're like,
and
oh
then you're
wait,
like,
this is actually nice.
This is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember just being in stores and people would just like not even bump into you or walk in front of you. They just like kind of walk near to you and then
Near your ear.
apologize. And I'm like, it's fine. Like you did like, I don't know. You don't have to apologize for standing in my bubble or anyway, it's super weird. And then I came back here and was in the grocery store. And someone just like walked in front of me, like I'm staring at the yogurts, and the person like walked in front of me, opened the thing, and grabbed something out. And I'm like, well, okay, sure, go ahead. It's like super, I don't know. Maybe that's like a perception of personal space, but you would think that. Let me back up for a second. I just find it nice when people are polite and nice to each other without needing to be,
Yeah, I like it too. Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's in the culture. I want to transition now into the world of love and your relationship because you're a fiancé, and dive into like the cultural differences and things like that. But to kick it off, can you tell everyone how you met your fiancé Max?
Yes.
That's a little story in a nutshell.
Yes, I can. So like the 5-second version is that we met on Tinder. Very romantic.
Love it.
I mean, how else do people meet these days?
Tinderella.
I'm not sure. Yeah, Tinderella. Sort of the longer story around that is I had been in Frankfurt for just over 2.5 years. And I was kind of finished with it, I have to say. I mean, I had my experience. It was really nice. And I had agreed when I stayed with my boss at the time that I would stay for 3 years. And so I was kind of coming up on the end of that time and wanted to sort of see what was next. And actually, I wanted to move back to the US. So I applied for a master's program in Ireland that was supposed to be my sort of like pit stop on my way back to America. And I got into the program, and then I went back to celebrate New Year's in the U.S. And when I came back, Max and I matched on Tinder. And I mean, we knew pretty much from the beginning that there was something there, that we were a super good match. But we also knew that I was leaving Germany in 6 months. And so we kind of had this like really intense 6 months where we said, okay, we're going to pretend like I'm not about to leave the country. And then we just make a decision after 6 months, like, okay, do we continue this even knowing that it's about to be hard or harder? Or do we say, okay, we tried this, we gave it our all, and then it's not going to work out. But it worked out. Yeah. And now we've been together for just over 7 years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
7 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah.
What were your first impressions? Like, could you like, how was the vibe of, let me backtrack. Had you dated other Germans before? Like, seriously dated?
I guess it depends on how you define serious.
Yeah.
I had some Germans that I had been on several dates with.
Yeah.
But
Situationships. Not
yeah.
full on, like, did you meet their parents?
No.
Okay.
No.
So like that
no.
wasn't like that. That wasn't like that serious then.
No.
Okay.
No. But I mean, I'd begun sort of like the process of building relationships with other Germans. But I don't know. I feel like it. I don't want to sound too cliche. I probably have said a lot of cliche things already today.
Speak your truth.
But I'm just a cliche person. No. I think whenever you meet the right person, you know pretty quickly. And I'm a firm believer in that. And that's what I felt with Max. And I had met other Germans, but I never really felt like I clicked with them in that way, let's say.
Did like Max always have this vibrant energy to him, like from the get-go?
Yeah, he did. He did. He's German. He is very German. I mean, he is German. He's a German person.
Yeah.
He grew up here. But
like with an American spirit.
I think he has an American spirit. Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
He's going to watch this and be like, what are you guys talking about? Absolutely not. But I feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it. I feel
I
it.
feel it too. Yeah. I mean, honestly. Yeah. And he has also like I think he has a really good sense of humor. Also an American sense of humor.
I love that.
Or maybe it's just like a Jordan sense of humor. We have
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah. Maybe that like y'all just don't take yourselves too seriously,
Yeah.
which is important.
Yeah. I
Right?
think so too. I think so.
Y'all are getting married this year in June.
In June, yeah.
6 months to go.
I know.
How is wedding planning going?
It's going. It's going.
Yeah.
Planning a wedding is stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like you're not from here.
Yeah.
There adds like another level of complexity.
Max is having to do a lot of the heavy lifting on the communication side of things, like contacting the vendors. I mean, obviously could contact them.
And he's a good negotiator.
He is a good negotiator. Yeah. Yeah.
Businessman.
I think that's one businessman. Yeah. That's one of his strengths actually. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work on him, right? I'm providing the vibes and the creative direction.
Love that.
But he's having to contact a lot of the vendors and the locations. And yeah, but I mean, I think he also kind of likes it, I have to say. So he has a lot of Excel spreadsheets for us.
Really?
Yeah, we're very organized. I say we, but because we're a couple, but it's mostly Max.
Yeah.
Max is very organized, yeah.
I love that. Are you guys like giving input equally, would you say? Or like does one of you care about a certain topic way more than the other? How has that been? Like maybe you're like, oh, like I don't care about flowers, and Max is like, what, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
has there been like, topics that one person takes on?
Yes and no. Yes and no. We're deciding almost everything together. And I have to say, I mean, I don't want to get too deep here, but well, maybe I do. I don't know. Let's see. I never really. I think a lot of straight women, grow up like really thinking about their wedding day and what they want and how they want it to be. And when I was growing up, I never really ever did that. And also, when I was growing up, it wasn't even legal for two men to get married. So I don't really have any sort of expectations in my head for what I want my wedding to be. Like, what's the perfect wedding? I think Max has thought about it a little bit, but we're not trying to like recreate
your childhood dream.
Some dream, we're trying to make something that together that works for us, that represents us, that we think that our friends and family will enjoy, and that we can look back on and say, yeah, that was perfect for us.
I think that's beautiful.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited.
It's gonna
go so hard.
Yeah.
I can, totally see what you mean by like straight women like having their plan.
I didn't mean to say like straight woman.
No, I mean you said it.
Can we cut that out?
No, but like I mean the amount of times that I've seen like people on Instagram or Facebook that I've met at one point in my life being like, oh my gosh, I just got engaged. Like I've been dreaming about this day since I was like 4. I'm just like, that's insane. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm like actually like you that I've never ever dreamt of a dream wedding, but that's also because like I'm a child of divorce. So there's that.
Yeah, okay.
We're getting deep. No, but it's never like been super important for me, or like I've never had this vision. And I think it's wild sometimes that I see on social media when it's like, oh, like my husband like didn't want to plan anything. Like he just like handed me the money, and like I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. I mean, if that works, obviously, like if that works for you, like I'm not like you're not hurting anyone. But like, damn, like you know what I mean? Like you're coming together in union, and you'd think that like, I mean, obviously you can play on strengths and like, okay, like they're better at that, you're better at that. But like if it's just like, oh, like I'm just gonna like hand you money and like you just do whatever you want, like that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the event should represent the couple, right? I mean, if one person plans the whole thing or gives the whole creative vision without consulting the other. I mean, you know what it gives? It gives the same vibes as like dads on Christmas, that the mom did all the shopping and the dad's like,
and like they wrapped all the gifts and put like from your father.
Yeah, and then the kid is like, thanks, Dad, and the dad's
thanks
like,
for this like incredible candle.
I get you? It's the exact same vibe.
Oh my gosh, no, true. We need to hold men accountable.
Yeah.
For like making these like creative decisions too. At the same time, you start to think like maybe straight men just like don't have a creative bone in their body.
I don't I don't think that's it, but
No.
maybe they just don't have the opportunity to exercise their creativity.
Yeah. No, I love
Could
that.
be.
That's a more inclusive statement. That's a beautiful one. Yeah. Like they need to like feel welcome to also give their input.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
Like, yeah, why not have shorts for a suit, you know?
I
Like
mean
I mean, I don't know. I watch a lot of TikTok. I'm sure you do too.
yeah,
But
I do.
I did see one of these couples that it was very similar, and the guy was like, "I want to have whatever a suede suit," and
Mm-hmm.
the bride was like, "No, you can
Oh.
decide something else."
Oh.
I mean, it was meant to be funny, but I actually found it kind of sad in the end because it was like
Mm.
she was not giving him the opportunity to bring in his creativity. So maybe that's also at play.
Mm.
If you know, these brides have an idea of, or you know, one person and the couple has an idea of really what they want the wedding to be, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
compromise. That's, I don't know, it's kind of sad.
But what if Max came to you and was like, I want to wear a short suit that's like neon green? And he was dead ass serious. Would you
Um,
like be like, okay, let's talk about this?
I think we would have to talk about it. Yeah, Max
You
would
wouldn't just
never
shoot him
do that.
down?
No, I wouldn't. I would hear him
Oh,
out. I would hear him out.
that's sweet. Oh, that's love.
Yeah, I mean, oof, neon suit. Ooh.
But
But he would
you
never
would
say
talk
that.
about it. Yeah, true. You're like, okay, that's like not even on my radar.
But I mean, yeah, there have been things already where we have to sort of talk through like two perspectives of, you know, where do we want to be when it comes to location? Like what
Yeah.
vibe do we want overall? And I mean, where we can both see different things working for us. And then I mean, that's love, right? You have to
Mm-hmm.
compromise always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet halfway.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to the actual festivities, are you guys considering like bringing in both traditions, new traditions? Because like when it comes to the world like of weddings in the US and in Germany, they're very, very different, right? We
Yeah.
have our, I don't know, like what can I say? In Germany, like they cut, I know like they cut like a heart out of bed sheets. Have you seen that?
I've
That's a
seen
thing,
I have
right?
seen that the couple will like saw through a log
There's
after. Have you seen
games.
that? There's
There's so
games.
many games
Yeah.
at like German weddings. I haven't been
hmm
to one yet. Are y'all, what are you gonna do? Are you doing it like more US style, more German style, like blend?
Um, I would say it's a blend. I'm very lucky that my partner also is not a big fan of games at weddings. So we did not have to, that is not a topic we had to compromise on. So there will not be games, or at least not many games. Certainly there will be no log sawing or anything like wood cutting or anything.
Yeah.
No bed sheets shall be schnitten
Yeah.
at the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that we're still planning a lot of the event. And one of the big topics that we're still talking through and trying to decide on is also language. So
That's a big one.
actually most of our guests understand German and English. So
Okay.
we have some that only speak English or speak German, like not to a level where they would really understand so much.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a few that speak only German. So it's going to be kind of difficult to figure out in the end what mix we go with or how we sort of try to accommodate those people. One other thing that I find kind of weird that we haven't talked about yet, so sorry, Max, if you're seeing this one, is that actually in German weddings, the couple usually sits down.
Ooh.
Have you seen that?
No.
They
What like what part? What do you mean?
like they're
Like during the ceremony?
yeah,
What?
when there's like the whole you know, like in American weddings, like the couple standing there basically the whole time during the whole speech and everything,
Yeah.
and like the person who's speaking is like in between them, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, very often in German weddings they go in and they sit down during the speech.
Are y'all supposed to kiss like sitting?
No, I mean you get up during the vows, and there's
Okay.
like so I don't know if I told you this, but I actually did like I guess it's called emceeing. I emceed a wedding. Yeah, a
Ooh.
German wedding in German. It was
Oh,
very.
wow. I remember
was-
you saying
yes,
you were
yeah.
a officiator, right?
Yes, officiant.
Officiant.
Yeah,
I was an
that's it.
officiant too.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's really nice.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
Oof. interesting. Like, I mean, no, it was a lot of fun. I just had so much pressure on myself because I was like, okay, this is like supposed to be like the best day of their lives. Like, and I have the power to potentially fuck that up.
Yeah.
So I just like practice. I was just like, there's like nothing's gonna go wrong.
The stress is real, right?
It was.
It's super high pressure.
I put so much pressure on myself. I was just like, this has to be amazing.
Yeah.
It went well.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, they're still married.
Well, that's
2 years later.
That's good.
But yeah, several languages. Like it was, not my speech, but their wedding was like a bit in English, Spanish, and German.
Wow. Okay.
My friend Joss is Mexican and Yannick is German.
Joss and
Oh
Yannick.
yes,
Yeah,
they're gonna do your.
them.
Yeah,
They're
gonna cover your wedding.
Yes, they are.
I love that. And I've also been to a wedding where I was a bridesmaid of my friend Dasom, and she is Korean, and that wedding had Korean, English, Spanish, and French.
Oh.
It was a thing. It was an ordeal.
Okay.
So languages, oof.
It's a big topic.
Because you want people to feel like included, right?
Yeah.
And like not just kind of like lost.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a tough decision. I mean, I think that we're gonna have a mix, because if you do just one or the other, you exclude someone.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not what we want. So.
Danglish life.
Yeah, Danglish.
Jumping into the next kind of part, and I hope this doesn't give you whiplash, like because we were just like talking about nice fuzzy things, and now I want to talk about the state of the world and our country. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you a cheers to that.
I wish it wasn't alcohol free.
I'm gonna take a little sip.
The state of the world. Wow. Okay.
I mean, it's the end of January right now.
January 59th.
Yeah.
It feels like this month is going on forever.
Truly. I think like everyone feels that way. It's felt kind of insane.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The last 2 weeks have felt like 2 months. So
yeah. Our country is, a lot's happening right now. The inauguration was on the 19th, right?
20th.
Ooh, 20th. See, look at me, like not even like I'm trying to black it out and like forget what day was that? I don't know. It was last week, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it feels like it was like a month ago.
Yeah.
Feelings check. Like how have you been feeling with all of the crazy news that's coming out? Like the state of our country right now. And especially like the fact that like we're not there. Like we're just kind of like reading about it. Are you talking to your family about it?
No.
Let
me focus on the first part of that question. For work, so I work in communications, and specifically for work, I do a lot of research in the media and what's happening, what are and the headlines and what people are talking about, in relation to various topics. So I've been following a lot of the coverage around the inauguration, and then the like slew of executive orders and sort of how the dust is settling and in some places being kicked up again. And I don't know. I have really mixed feelings. On the one hand, I'm trying to dissociate a bit from it, because we're not there, right? I mean, we're not, luckily, like feeling sort of any of the impact of what is happening at the moment. On the other hand, you cannot fully dissociate from it. Like it is our country, our home country. It's where we grew up. All of our family lives there, and friends, and it's tough. I see a lot of people scared, a lot of people sort of worried about what's going to happen to them in the following 4 years. I mean, if week 1 was what it was like, what's it going to be like? I don't know. In week 2 and 3, and month 2 and 3, and year 2 and 3. I mean, there's a lot of anxiety, I think, there right now. And, I think that's also a strategy on the side of the Trump administration. So I've read basically that releasing all of these executive orders, making all of these changes, even though a lot of them probably will not come to fruition, right? I mean, the courts are going to push them back. You can't say parts of the Constitution are not law anymore that easily. And but putting all of that out there is creating sort of like this chaos storm in society, and people don't
strengthening the divide as well.
Exactly. Yeah, because you cannot, I mean, humans cannot focus on every single topic, you know? I mean, you have to choose your battles. You have to put your emotional strength behind the things that matter most to you. You can't, I mean, you literally just cannot take 200 topics and you know, fight for all of them.
Yeah.
And that's obviously the strategy. So to divide and to divide attention as well.
Yeah.
And I think he's very successful with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been super heavy for me, actually. Last week, like, I thought I was okay. And Tim and I went to dinner, and then like we were at a tram stop, like about to head home, and I just like lost it. And I was like crying for like a half hour. Because I realized I was like, okay, I think I'm not okay. I guess I felt like pretty hopeless. Or yeah, like not like hopeless in the sense of like I can't do anything. And that's a horrible feeling. At the same time, I read things on Instagram that's like, oh, like that's how they want you to feel. So then like, I want to fight those feelings because I'm like, oh, I don't want them. Like if I feel hopeless, like aren't they winning? So it's hard. It's hard, and I really think that like at this moment, like all we have is each other and our communities, the people that we care for, whether that may be family or friends affected. And I think it's important to like check up on one another. You know what I mean? Like there's just so much going on, and like I feel like it's so easy to feel like our world is just like crashing down on us. And for many, actually, that is the case with deportations. Yeah. And I come from 10 minutes from the Mexican border in South Texas, and I've already heard stories. So it's hitting home, and I think it's just like a really hard time. And I think like it's important to talk like to one another about it.
Yeah, totally. I think that's super important. Check in with the people you care about. I think that also, if you don't agree with what's happening, you, like we said before, you cannot follow every single topic. You should really hammer in on what's most important to you, and you can potentially make an impact in that area, you know, or at least follow up on what is actually happening. Don't get sort of overwhelmed with the flood of news and changes, and it's gonna be a bumpy 4 years, I think.
Are you proud to be American? A loaded question.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you know, despite that's kind of like a whiplash because maybe I don't agree with everything that's happening in the US right now, but it is a part of who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of where I come from. I'm proud of everything that made me me and gives me my perspective on the world, my unique perspective on what life is and should be, and how I can, I don't want to say make it a better place. That's another cliche, but how I can be the best me in this soup that we call life.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. I think at this moment it would be hard for me to say that I'm proud, but I have to also remember like what you're saying is that like we are not representative of our government. Like we're not like synonymous.
Yeah.
Like Paulina isn't the US government. Jordan isn't the US government.
Yeah.
Like we are people, we have many people that we love, like, and there's a lot of beautiful things about where we come from too.
Yes, totally. And I think deep down, I think society is getting much more polarized, and there's a lot of really extremists. I don't mean like, you know, in the sense that they're doing extreme things, but they have more and more extreme views of the world and how the world should be. And I think that it's important to sort of take a step back, and the whole country should do that, honestly. But to take a step back and remember, like, people at the end of the day are good, right? I mean, they just want the world to be better. They want their lives and their families' lives to be better. And I do think Americans are, by and large, good people. I do believe that, right? even though it's kind of hard to feel that right now. Does that make sense?
I think so. I feel so disconnected. Like sometimes I'm just like in a bubble of only reading doom and gloom. So my view of the US is doom and gloom. And then I go there and I visit and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it.
People are
Like,
nice, right?
people are so loving and nice. I think I can get stuck in the trap of only reading the worst things. I mean, what makes the news? Like extreme events and the shit that's burning. And then I go back and I'm just like, oh, these are my people. I've always compared like Texas to like a scenario of like, oh, it's like a son or daughter that like you love, obviously, but then they do like so many shitty things and they disappoint you.
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel about like my state and like the government. Like, oh, I'm often so like let down and disappointed, but like I still love where I'm from.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
And it's hard, right? Like to say that like you're proud, like but not in a like Republican kind of nationalist way, like in a wholesome, like I'm proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's
I don't know if I
super
can like say that with
complicated.
my full chest of like I'm proud of being American.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
and
hard.
it's also a very complicated topic here in Germany as well.
Having
because-
pride. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They do not. Like a German would not say like
I think
that.
like
I mean, it depends what kind of German. It depends what kind of German you're talking to.
But people like openly don't say that,
No.
right? If you ask a German that question,
No.
I would say 8 times out of 10 they would say no.
They're not waving their flags here.
But yeah, I mean, but deep down, I think, I mean, this is a great place to live. It's a great country, and you know, Germans can be proud of their country.
Yeah.
God, I sound like Elon Musk right now.
No.
Okay.
And okay, two things can exist at the same. Like two things can be right. Like Germans can be proud of their country in a non-nationalist way, and they can also
Americans?
and be proud of the multiculturalism here.
Yeah.
Gosh, like
That's
I
true.
know, but like
That's true.
not in an Elon way. Like I think two things can be true. Like you can be proud, but like not like weird proud.
Yeah.
Not like
And I think that that's also kind of how I see myself being proud of being American. You know, I'm proud of being American. That is who I am, right? That's who.
Yeah.
That it's a major part of me, and definitely a formative part for the first 20 something years of my life. And I can still be critical of decisions that are made there and how large parts of the population view particular issues if I disagree with them. I think that's also the beauty of at least what I felt like America was, you know, like that you can disagree with someone and they can still be your neighbor. And at the end of the day, you still believe in making the country better and the ideals of democracy. I mean, that's, you know, it's all getting a little more complicated right now, but like that's the America that I have in my heart.
Yeah, that's beautiful. One thing that I can say is that I think, I mean, you and I may be getting German citizenship soon. Crossing the fingers. And one thing that I'm certain of is that like till the day I die, I will be I will be American, regardless of like, I mean, even if I didn't have a passport, like I that's who I am. Like that is my identity. I think I can live in Germany like another 40 years and like I will still feel so American.
Yeah.
I think it will never leave me. And I think that's okay. And I think I can like also embrace that side of my identity. And know that like, I'm proud of the people who raised me and like the community I grew up in and, those formative years.
Totally. The world is not black and white, you know? I mean, you can be American and you can be critical of America. You can be American and also, after living in Germany, for example, also feel German. I mean, I really think it's not healthy to put everything into little like compartments.
Yeah.
But that's much easier, obviously.
And with the state of German politics right now, do you think we're getting our citizenship? We both have open applications. Do you think it's happening? It's got to happen.
I have to tell you that.
No.
I have to tell you.
Stop. Did your lawyer tell you something?
My application is, I would say, no longer open.
Wait, what?
I got and approval.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Stop. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, the suspense, Jordan.
I know.
Stop it. You're like, it is no longer open.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got the letter in December, so I'm actually going
Stop.
on Tuesday to pick up my my citizenship
Oh my
certificate.
gosh.
Yeah.
Do you have to get sworn in? Is that like this at the same time?
You have to, I mean, there's a lot of like declarations you need to sign. And there's this like crazy form where you have to like tick like a million boxes saying you're not a terrorist.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you go there, you get the certificate and then there's not like a ceremony like in the US. There is, but they don't do it like they do it like once a month or something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, you have to swear, you make a statement essentially. Yeah.
What are you going to wear?
I don't know. My lederhosen, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not sure.
I've already
I'm going to wear
had
my
this,
cowboy
like-
boots. I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, I already know what I'm gonna wear. Like if the day comes and I'm approved, I would wear boots with agenda. Bringing the culture
That's nice.
together.
That's really nice.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. The whole process took like 22 or 23 months.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a long journey.
Wow.
And I've been here for this year. It's a decade.
Yeah.
So.
No, we're gonna have to celebrate.
I know.
Like
I know.
there's no doubt.
I want to wait until it's a little warmer, but yeah.
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 No, for sure. At a beer garden or something.
Yeah.
Have a really nice party about that.
Yeah, totally.
I love it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's super exciting.
I have a few, like to wrap this all up, I have a few would you rathers.
Okay.
Okay, first off, would you rather never drink German beer again or never have American barbecue again?
Oh.
You have to give up one.
Oh. Okay, do I get to ask like follow-up questions or do I
Sure.
just have to choose? Okay. American barbecue in America or American barbecue period?
Ooh, no, American barbecue in America.
Okay, then American barbecue because you can get some really good barbecue in
Oh,
Germany. Yeah.
Okay, loophole.
So,
German beer. Would you rather have German beer forever or American craft beer forever? And you
German
can only
beer.
have like one
German
or the other.
beer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I like craft beer.
You're a simple man.
But German beer, I mean, it's just so good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that one was easy. Would you rather live in a tiny German village that has one bakery? Let's say like population is like 200.
Mm-hmm.
Or a big American US city that has no public transport and you don't have a car?
Oh. I guess the German village.
Ooh, okay.
Because how would you get around in the US?
Like,
No
you
public-
wouldn't.
You would just like stay at your house. I mean, a lot of
You-
Americans do that, but
I mean, like, you'd have to be driven.
yeah. But
which
if
is
you don't have a car, I
unfortunate.
mean, that would be really tough.
Yeah.
Because your world then it doesn't really matter that you live in a big city. Your world would be your neighborhood.
Yeah. So you'd go for the village.
I think I'd go for the village and the bread. Yeah.
That's solid. Yeah. And I'm sure the bread would be good.
I think so.
I'm sure.
I think so.
Would you rather have Southern hospitality or German efficiency?
Southern hospitality.
Oh.
Yeah. You can get a lot done with a smile.
Yeah. No, I thoroughly believe that. I feel like I would agree.
Yeah.
Now, some hot or nots.
Okay.
You ready? First off, which we've already like kind of covered some of these, brunch in Munich. But not brunch at your home, like brunch out.
Not hot.
Ooh.
Not.
It's not.
It's a not. It's not. Brunch in Germany.
I
It's not it.
agree.
I mean, at home, yeah, that's fine. That's something else. But in restaurants,
Dude, my
no.
home is a benchmark.
Yeah.
I go out in Munich and I'm just like, dude, like I make better food at home.
Yeah.
And like I'm not a chef.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, totally. I'm severely, consistently disappointed by brunch in this country.
No, I agree. I totally agree with that. The second hot or not is wearing navy all the time.
Hot. So
Hot,
hot.
hot.
So hot.
Um,
I basically wear navy almost every day.
that is
Blue
Munich's,
is for me.
Yeah, navy is Munich's color,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Like it's
It
the
totally
color
is.
of this city.
And we didn't coordinate outfits to be
We
clear.
didn't.
Yeah.
It was just a feeling, right? German directness, hot or not. And like I'm talking about really direct.
This is hard. I would say not. I really like the directness, but like I think sometimes it can go into rudeness for no reason, you know.
I agree. And they disguise it. There's like, oh, I'm just being direct.
Yeah, but that's
it's like, no, you're being mean.
You're being mean.
Like that's not nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can be very direct and nice at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, Americans abroad in Munich.
So hot.
Ooh. We're a good bunch, aren't we?
I think so too. Yeah, we are. I've met a lot of Americans here, and I have to say that they're really a cool group of people.
Yeah.
Super interesting backstories and interesting perspectives, a lot of interesting jobs, and yeah, super, super nice.
Yeah. I think we have a lot to bring to the table.
Yeah.
For sure. And different perspectives from different states at the same time. Like we can all come together and say like, oh yeah, like we drink Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
The Kool-Aid man was running through all of our walls, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for your time,
Thanks
Jordan.
It's
been real. It was really fun. I hope you enjoyed.
Really nice. Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for inviting me over and asking me a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It was great.
Let's go eat.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, thanks a lot. And yeah, until next time. Thanks for listening. The Pod Abroad's video, audio, and music is produced and edited by Tim Teherne. Make sure to give us a follow and leave a comment if you like this episode.